All right.
Recording in progress.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to call the Board of Selectmen meeting to order at 12:06 on June 9th. Could I have a roll call, please?
Joe Shank present.
Chaz Sexton Duranian present.
Veronica Cal present. The meeting is being tape recorded and also should be live on Channel 9. And it will be posted on YouTube afterwards. Chairman's additions and deletions. I have two things. One is under 5.1.4. I would like to add Conservation Commission as a topic of discussion, and 5.1.5, procurement for the Shared Streets and Spaces grant. And
Okay.
that is all I have that I can think of that's not already on this posted agenda. Does anyone else have anything?
Do not.
Just a question. I was asked today, I was at the meeting with the fire department in regards to the PIP, but the union steward asked, he's never heard any final information. I know I did the union fire department contract, but Mr. Kreidler never sent anything out. So he's just asking me where we stand. So I don't know how we go forward on that.
Okay, can I put that as 5.1.6?
Yeah.
Union contracts. Let me just put it down as that. All right. Thank you. All right, moving down to 5.0, the work session, town administrator updates and reports. The first thing we wanted to do is go through Selectmen meeting minutes, and Chaz went through and he categorized these for us so that we could look at these and determine where we stand and what needs to be done. So Hartley, is it possible for me to screen share? All right, it looks like I am co-host now, so I should be able to do that. Give me 1 minute to get to our files here and put them where everybody can see them, or where I can see them so that I screen share appropriately. System's slow today, sorry. All right, this is under meetings. June 9. All right, I'm going to start. Chaz did both 2021 and 2020. We are concentrating on the time during which this board has been, okay, give me a minute. This is really slow. I'm going to try again on this. All right, I have it here. We're concentrating on the time during which this board was seated. Airplay, Safari unknown. Hold, up arrow. This isn't working for me. I'm going to try it a different way. All right, let me try it a different way here. That's interesting. It's giving me unknown on the pages that I am selecting. Allow Zoom to share your screen. It looks hardly like I do not have screen sharing capability.
You're listed as the co-host.
I am. Recording. Allow the app. It looks like I have to allow the app. This is my system issues. Let me try one more time. If not, we're going to go without it. People won't be able to see and we'll have to just go through. Okay, this is too difficult, taking too much time. So we all have access to it. I apologize that no one else is able to see, but I'm not being able to screen share. It's a permissions on my system, it looks like. That's the issue. So starting out, we started looking at the audit for 2021 minutes. We have headers across the top, the date, whether or not it was a regular meeting, whether or not there was an executive session in the meeting, whether or not the agenda was posted on the website, which is different from on the calendar. I am assuming that means under the Board of Selectmen page.
Correct.
All right, whether or not the minutes are available in SharePoint, that means available to us, and whether or not they have been posted on the website.
Correct.
So, and then there are notes. So we're starting with, do we want to start with the most recent and work backwards, or do we want to start with January and work forwards?
Whatever you want to do, Madam Chair.
Yeah, whatever's easier.
I tend to work with the most recent and go backwards.
Okay.
But if that's okay with you guys. All right. 604 and 602. So we did this as of Monday. Was it a regular meeting? It says not applicable. These are our working meetings that we have instituted.
Right. Those were put in there before those meetings were held. That's why it's NA.
It's NA. Okay, so can we change that to yes on both of these? Because we did post agendas for both of those.
Yeah.
Were there executive sessions? And the answer there is no. Not in either of those. Was the agenda on the website? And I know they were in the calendar. Were they also under the Board of Selectmen?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I think it was Carolyn that has been posting those there. So are the minutes in SharePoint? The answer is no. And are the minutes in the website? And the answer is no.
Correct.
So these were the meetings that we have started holding because we do not have a TA in place. So I am going to suggest, beginning with the 602 meeting, that you vote for me to write the minutes for them. I will be going with motions. I will be taking the agendas and I will be putting in the motions, the first, the second, and the vote for all of those. Are you good with that? So that we can begin to get minutes out for these.
Make a motion that we let Veronica start taking the minutes so we can get the minutes out.
This is for the working meetings.
For the work sessions, yes.
For the work sessions beginning on 602.
602.
I second.
Any further discussion? Well, I guess I have further discussion. What I will put in these is exactly what is required for minutes. So in other words, I think people have gotten used to seeing long paragraphs of things for minutes. I will be putting the motion and the vote, what the topic was, and the motion and the vote. Are we good with that?
Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Thank you. All right, so beginning with 602, there's a motion on the floor that I will be writing the minutes for our working sessions, our Monday, Wednesday, Friday working sessions, beginning 602 and going forward. All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chess Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Kell, yes. All right, thank you. All right, backing up, let's look at May as a whole. So we had a regular meeting on the 4th of May. So I'm just going to go through May, beginning at the beginning of the month. We had a regular meeting. There was an executive session in it. The agenda was not on the BOS website. The minutes are not in SharePoint, which typically means they have not been written, and there are no minutes on the website. 508, this was the special town meeting, annual town meeting, pre-meeting meeting. And it was a regular meeting. There was no executive session. The agenda was not posted on the BOS webpage, but I will say that these were all posted on the calendar.
Correct.
So it should be pretty easy to go into the web and move them to the posting for the BOS page.
Correct.
Okay. There are no minutes in SharePoint, and there are no minutes on the website. For the next 4 meetings, 511, 518, 521, and 525. Yes, these were regular meetings. There was one executive session in each of them. The agenda was not on the BOS page, though it was on the town calendar, so it was posted properly. The minutes are not in SharePoint, and they are not on the website. 526 and has a regular meeting. There was no executive session. The agenda was not on the website, not in SharePoint, no minutes, and there are no minutes on the website for that. 528 was a regular meeting with one executive session, and no as far as the agenda being on the BOS page. So thoughts on that?
I know that I could probably, doesn't have to say probably, I can put the agendas on the website relatively quickly. But the writing of the minutes, that's going to take some time.
I would like to put the writing of the minutes on the agenda for 6:15. I have not posted, that's our regular meeting.
Okay.
On 6:15. So writing of minutes, I'll put that on the agenda for a topic of discussion for that. And it might avail itself of a different form, but when it actually gets put on the agenda, but we can address that at that point.
Okay.
Okay.
And do we need a motion for Chaz to, let's just say for 2021, let's come back for a motion for posting on the website. Chaz, thank you for volunteering for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Here for that, Madam Chair, but I'm not real good at SharePoint and all that stuff, so I don't want to.
I don't think you have access to put things up on the website anyway, Joe, correct?
I'm still struggling with it. I'm getting there. We're out.
Okay,
Well, we got him printing, so we're going to leave it at that.
Right, exactly. So we're good with that. We're good with that. So we will discuss minutes, the writing of minutes, and I'd like to do that for all of 2021, and also the posting of the agendas on the BOS page on the website. Let's keep going through the minutes. So I'm looking at all the notes that are here. So let's look at April. In April, we had meetings on the 6th, the 13th, the 16th, the 22nd, and the 27th of the month. Those were regular BOS meetings. In those, we had executive sessions 3 executive sessions on 406. I think this had to do with budget. On 413, we had 1. On 416, we had 2. And on 427, we had 1. The only meeting in April that did not have an executive session was 422. As far as agendas on the website, it looks like of the entire month, the only one that got posted on the BOS page was 413. So Chaz, that means most of April is also going to need to be posted on the BOS page.
Mm-hmm.
As far as minutes in SharePoint, there have been no minutes written for the month of April that we know of. There may be some that are done, but we do not see them in our SharePoint folders yet.
Correct.
So these we will need to look for. And of course, on the website, because these have not been approved, written or approved, they are not there. I want to add a tiny column next to executive session in there. As far as I know, there are no draft minutes for any of these executive sessions, correct?
I did not find anything.
Okay, and I have requested the recordings of these, and for those that I was in, I do have my own scribbling notes that I take religiously.
Okay.
So between the recordings, which are on request, and the minutes that I take as the meeting is ongoing, we can create those executive minutes. So we need draft executive minutes for both April and May, correct?
Correct.
All right. So after we review the other months, we'll come back to this. All right, in March, Chaz, you were not on the board. In fact, you were only on the board for the 427 going forward.
Correct.
Joe and I are the ones for March and April up to that point. So 302, this 302, 306, and 316 were regular meetings. 323 was not a regular meeting in that it was not open to the public. It was executive only. I think we opened an open session and went into executive.
Correct.
So that was 323. And 330 was a regular meeting, and had 306 and 330 had no executive sessions, but the remainder of the month, there were executive sessions in each meeting. And again, no draft minutes for those, correct?
Correct.
All right. As far as on the website, 302, 316, and 323 were posted on the BOS page. 306 and 330 were not, so we need to get them there. And minutes in SharePoint. All right, on this, 302, we have yes, and that they are on the website, and that would be correct, but I believe that we had minutes down to 320, 316. And I'm gonna look at 323 because I thought there were minutes for that I have to look at this, because what we had done, and Chaz, you might not be aware of this, but we had approved minutes, and I have records on it. But the minutes were put in the minutes folder on SharePoint. If it says approved, those are all the ones that were approved, but there could be others that were, because they got moved into the meeting folder for the dates on which they were on the agenda for approval.
You mean the
And-
Selectmen's minutes folder?
Let me bring up my other system.
Because in the approved folder in there, the first minutes I have are 302. And then it goes 216, 208, 22,
Working
128.
backwards.
Yep.
Okay, So go to, and let me get to the same place on here. Go to the meetings folders. Let me admit someone. Go to the meetings folders.
Okay.
So if you go down to Selectmen's meetings
Yep.
and you go to, we're in March, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I can't remember exactly which dates we had things on the agenda to be approved.
Is there minutes in those folders?
Not in the 306. Go to, let me back up, go to April, because that's where we were doing minutes approvals. So go to the April 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And on the agenda for April 6th, and again, I have to look at my notes to be certain, but for the April 6th meeting, we were approving 12:15, 2:2, and 2:8. So what we would do is we would move the minutes into that meeting folder. And then if there were any changes to it, either Carolyn or I would make the changes that were submitted in the discussion of the minutes. So I have, if you look in the SharePoint for some of these, you will find where there is a .doc and then a .docx. The .docx is where I made changes to the minutes after Carolyn put in whatever she had.
Right, and it's listed as minutes, though the file name would be minutes, right?
Yeah, that would be correct.
And I didn't see any in here.
Yeah, I have Selectmen's minutes that say approved. And when I go in, it has 2020 and then 2021. And the only ones I see is 1/5, 1/19, 1/26, 1/28, 2/2, 2/8, 2/16, and 3/2.
Okay, so let me, I know that we did others. Let me go to select. So I need to do a little bit of work. Let's just leave it at that for right now.
Okay.
To
I'm
get,
very happy with that.
Well, I mean, Veronica, there is 24 hours in the day.
I know.
I'll let you take a half hour. So
Okay, so yeah, these might be, I need to look and see because things were getting moved around pretty.
I'm not seeing any minutes in any of April or any of March either.
Okay, let me do an example for you then. So if you go into the April 27th Selectmen's meetings, if you go into that folder,
Mm-hmm.
slow down.
you will see that there is the agenda, and then there's the December 15th minutes. All right, the February 16th minutes as a doc,
Mm-hmm.
and then February 23rd, there's a doc and a docx.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the doc are the minutes that had been done, and then the docx is the updates that were put in after they were approved.
Mm-hmm.
And so those minutes needed to be picked up and put in the approved folder.
That
So
never
if you-
were.
Okay, so
I see
those
that.
minutes are there. So if you look at this, 216, so this is February 23rd. Okay, so for February 23rd, we had a regular meeting. It says minutes in SharePoint. It says no, because they are not in the minutes folder. So the procedure was, after the changes were made, it was to go in the approved folder. So those were approved at the April 27th meeting. This is really, really confusing.
No, I understand what you're doing.
But you see what we're doing. So we were trying to figure out how to make it work. And that was, and you wouldn't have been aware of this, Chaz and Joe, you might not have been either, because this was something that Carolyn and I worked out.
Yeah, because I don't know nothing
Because
about
we needed a way to coordinate the minutes when we were now using SharePoint. And it was a work in progress.
So we have February 16th, 23rd in the April 27th.
Correct.
So
And so those can be picked up.
Yes, and 16th and 23rd. Okay.
So we do have those minutes, and they were approved. We just have to get them into the correct place,
Okay.
you know, for open meeting purposes.
Okay.
So they are there. And let me back up again. So this is April 27th that we were looking at. I'm going to go to May because for some reason in my head, I thought we were done up until the 3:30 meeting with regular meeting minutes. So let me go back to May. And we were working on getting these things done. I don't see any on May 4th. That might have been it. Why did I think we had more in March done? May 11th.
So now that I know that, I'll be able to go back through.
Okay, so if you go to the May 11th folder, you'll see the March 2nd meeting minutes. And so May 11th was the meeting. You will see that they were modified on May 12th to add the changes that were approved during the May 11th meeting for the March 2nd minutes.
Yep.
It's a little confusing.
No, I see
But
what.
that was the system that we had worked out.
Okay.
And it was working pretty well and just needs a little bit more follow through. It was a work in progress, but it was working.
Okay.
So, and it's exactly why we're having this, look at things. So let me go back to Selectmen's meetings for May, because what was the next one? May 18th. Did we do any minutes? Let me just look here a minute. I don't see meetings there. So that or minutes there. So that could have been the last one that we did it at.
Okay.
But I'm going to write a note to myself to check my minute. I was doing this on my agendas that I file to keep track of the next one to go in. And so I was waiting, everything that had been in the minutes folder, but not in approved, had been moved into a meeting folder for approval.
Okay.
And so I just need to look and make sure, May 18th might have been, I was out of town beginning May 18th. So if there is nothing in there, that's where things started to get a little hairy. Because I wasn't here to continue monitoring that and to move things. So in any event. So we might be a little bit farther along than what this chart, shows as far as minutes go, at least to 3-2, correct?
Yes.
So we can look at that and pull them out of the meeting folder. And do you want me to do that, Chaz? Would it be better for me to do that to put it into the
Since
correct?
you're familiar with what that is, I think yes.
Okay, so let me do that. I will look at April and May meetings. There's a background noise. I don't know where it's coming from.
A couple people. And included, Jody's included.
All right, I'm making myself a note to look at March, April, and May meeting folders and move approved minutes into the approved folder.
Yep.
And that's as far as I'm going to go with it. Then once they're in the approved, Chaz, if you can move them into the minutes on the BOS page, that would be great.
I can do that.
All right.
Good job.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
when executive sessions minutes, when the business is all handled, you can release those minutes,
That-
except for some personnel things.
Unless it's
And-
confidential, that is correct.
Yeah, and several years ago, council said you couldn't release negotiations, actual negotiations, because it prejudiced future negotiations.
Oh,
You
that's
might want to grab that from previous council and run it by our council now to see if he feels that that still is holding true.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Um,
Andy.
All right, so have we looked at February yet? No, we have not. We have a lot of executive session minutes that need done, don't we?
Correct. Just in 2021.
Just in 2021. All right, so.
And then we're going to have to look at the 2020 to see what we can release and what we can't. So that's going to be a work session in itself right there.
Yeah, I think I came on board June 30th of 2020. So for right now, unless there's an objection from the two of you, I don't want to go prior to that at this point. We need to, but at this point, that is the time of our existence as
Yeah.
selectmen. And I think that we need to get this settled before we go back before our time. Because I will check with council on how we even do that. I assume that we can look at executive session minutes that are draft and determine based on the business whether or not they can be released from
Mhm.
prior days. But beyond that, I'm really not sure how to proceed. So if you guys are good with me checking with council on that, we
Good.
can do that.
Yeah.
But let's
I-
not go back any further than
Yeah.
what's known to us.
I know that in going over the Selectmen's Handbook, that wonderful 298-page document that we're given when we're elected, that did say that periodically the past executive sessions need to be reviewed. So I guess going forward, we would need to set some sort of schedule that we're going to review that, like maybe the last day of the month or something like that, or the last meeting of the month.
Periodically review.
Because I think there's a lot of executive sessions that have been finalized in the past few years that nothing's ever been done, and I feel they do need to be released.
Mhm.
So we'll start periodic reviews, and I'm going to count on you guys to look at the agenda and let me know if I've forgotten to add things like that we talk about in these working meetings. I'm trying to keep it all in order.
Yeah.
So, but let me know if there's something that needs to be added that I haven't put on there. All right, so I'm looking at February now for 2021.
Mhm.
It says 0201, regular meeting, no. This was a budget hearing with North, so this was a joint meeting,
Yes,
is that correct?
correct. That was with the North Middlesex School District.
And are you telling me it wasn't posted?
I didn't see anything.
All right, so we'll come back to that one. Going on to 0202, 08, 16, 23, and 27. These were all posted regular meetings, so we're good there.
Now, can I go back to 2-1? That may have been posted on the calendar, but the meeting was canceled, and that's why it wasn't posted.
I'll have to check on that.
Yeah, I think that meeting with that particular one, either nobody showed up or because you didn't have a quorum. Wasn't there a meeting?
I know that I was at the North Middlesex budget hearing, and I know that Jim was at the North Middlesex budget.
Right, so there was no quorum, so there wasn't, so the meeting was canceled.
Oh, the meeting for us was canceled. I
Yes.
know that the North Middlesex meeting happened. I see what
Correct.
you're saying.
Yes.
Um,
So
okay.
if it was a joint meeting, it would have been canceled, therefore it would not need to be posted.
Okay. All right. I'll have to check on that and see what I have in my notebook on that.
Okay.
All right, moving on to the rest. There were executive sessions on 202, two
Mhm.
executive sessions there, one on the 16th and one on the 23rd.
Correct.
And as far as we know, no draft minutes. I will check on that.
And then I will post those agendas too, as well with everything else
On the
So,
website,
yeah.
on the BOS site.
BOS site.
So Madam Chair, who was supposed to be responsible for getting all this stuff up and running?
It was the clerk.
Okay.
That was probably me. Putting it on the website, I think I was more concerned about getting the new website ready
Getting it,
than
yeah,
what was on
at
it.
that point.
Okay, so, but now we have a new clerk, so I'm sure a much better job will be done. All right. Minutes in SharePoint. The good news is we do have some of these approved, and I think we have more than what's here. Once I go in and put them up, I think so approved minutes in SharePoint, we have 202, 218, and 216. And it looks like one of them actually did make it to the website.
Yeah,
So not as much to do there, Chaz.
correct. So when we get to January now, are we there?
We are at January, yeah.
Okay, where it says minutes on websites and I have ×2.
Oh yeah, at the end here, yeah.
Yes, not really sure what was going on there, but it appears that the minutes were put and then any supporting appendices were uploaded, but there are two different ones.
Wait, okay, so here's the question.
Yes.
Is one of them the minutes themselves, the approved minutes, and one of them the approved minutes with the appendices? Or are you saying that the versions of the minutes are different?
Correct.
The versions of the minutes are different.
Yeah, one could possibly have 26 pages, the other one would have 82. And I'm not sure, I didn't look at the minutes themselves to see if they were different.
Okay, so let me look at these because I should be able, I do know that there were times where I sent in revisions to minutes before the approval was done.
Mhm.
So that we could, so that it would be there and then I would bring them up in the meeting.
Well, I would feel comfortable if you could look at those three to make sure that what version is right and either delete them or tell me which one to delete, because I think one is complete and one is partially complete.
And it could be that just the packet, I know that Carolyn was going in and appending the packets after the minutes were approved. I would be more concerned if the words in the minutes didn't match those first two.
And
or
I
three
didn't,
pages.
I mean, I was in attendance to those meetings, but I wasn't part of those meetings. So I
Okay.
would feel comfortable if you could just take a look at those three.
I can do that. Okay. Look at these on version on website. The list continues to grow. All right, so we do have the regular meeting. We do have executive sessions. I'm putting little dots there. I'm going to have to track these all down. So thank you so much, Jess, for doing this. It'll help me a lot in doing what I'm going to be doing to track down the executive sessions. Some of these may have draft minutes. I will say that. There were some draft minutes created. I just have to track down exactly where they are physically located on systems here at Town Hall.
Well, this was labor intensive, but I think because it's broken down, it gives us a better focus on what we need and what we can get put back in place so that we can catch up.
Okay. Minutes in SharePoint, yes, we have approved minutes in SharePoint for all of these. And it's just on the website. I need to look at those three to see what to make sure what the final version is. So we're not too bad for January.
Correct.
All right. So I am going to, what time is it? It's 12:46. I'm going to stop here with minutes. We're going to put this on a work session for maybe 2 weeks out
Mhm.
or for 2020, if that's all right. Perhaps we'll have interim people in the office or an interim person to look at this. So this will be enough for us to get under control.
Mhm.
And Joe and Chaz, neither of you were on the board prior to January. It was me from the three of us that are left. So can we hold off on those for a little bit?
Mhm. And I just wanted to let the people who are viewing the meeting, we are not able to talk with one another. That's why we needed to have this conversation so that we could coordinate our effort better to get these posted. So I just wanted to be clear on why we're going over this in a meeting.
All right, so what the motion that we have so far is that I will write the minutes beginning June 2nd for work sessions only, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday sessions.
Correct.
We need a motion for Chaz to post the agendas on the BOS page on the website. All of these agendas are posted on the town calendar. So there is not a posting issue for
Correct.
the Board of Selectmen.
Correct.
But we would like to have them on the website for historical purposes so that you don't have to go into the calendar. You can go to the website and see the agendas and
Mhm.
see the minutes. So, and the minutes that have been approved. So first thing is to have a motion for Chaz to go in and post the agendas on the BOS page on the website, and also to post any approved minutes on the website.
You want to take that motion first? So I make a motion that we allow Chaz to post the agendas on the BOS website and the minutes.
Second.
I will second. All right, sorry, Chaz, I jumped in there.
Okay.
All right, all those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. So Chaz will do the postings. And I don't know that we need a motion for this, but I will go in and make sure that those, where there is 2 different versions on the website for these 3 dates in January, I'll see what needs to be done there. I'll let you know if I need a further motion on that, but I'll look at
Okay.
that. And I will also look through meetings in March and April where we did approve minutes, but the way we were doing it in SharePoint they didn't get moved into the approved folder.
Okay.
So I'll take care of that and get them where they need to be. So Chaz, so just go with what's in approved for now on SharePoint. And I'll move things in there. I'll let you know when I do. I'll send you that little linky thing. That's that notification so that you can look into SharePoint and see what's been put in there.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. That takes care of 2021. We will move 2020. Executive sessions. I think I need a motion to, I don't know if I need a motion to research, but I would like to draft executive session minutes where needed.
I make a motion that Chair Cal draft the executive session minutes where needed for 2021.
Is there a second?
Second,
All right, all those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. Thank you very much. All right, I think that takes care of minutes. We will come back. I will start adding executive session minutes reviews to our meetings, probably starting at the end of July.
I do want to remind the chair that I have 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have a few other things to go over here today. I know that John is on and hanging out there for the right of entry for the Pete the Barber.
Yep.
So can we take that one right now? I think it's a little bit out of order, but let's go with that first. I saw everything, John, that you sent us yesterday. Are you there, John?
Yep.
Yes,
I'm
there
here.
you are.
Right, yeah,
Okay, thank
I
you.
gotta
You
trying to get
changed
some other
from
busy
a,
work done while you guys are getting busy work done.
from a printed name to a face. All right, so right of entry. I saw what you sent us yesterday. I've never done electronic signatures that way, and I don't know that that is an approved way to do things. I would be much more comfortable with wet signatures than clicking on a little thing and saying, and I haven't had a chance to discuss that with Adam. That wasn't, he had sent me email with the forms, and then we got the email from you.
If
So-
you folks can simply print out and understanding what your previous vote was, that you'd approve it subject to Adam's review, and Adam seems to be satisfied, and then you're signing it. I'm pretty sure Kevin signed it electronically and sent it back, but I don't have that handy. I can run that over to you if you want, but if you folks can sign it in ink just by printing out a copy of it, and then, as long as we know you're going to sign it, I think we'd be okay with, letting the tree people know to go ahead with the work, if you're okay with it.
I mean, I don't have a printer where I am, so I can't print it and run it there. But I mean, if we all agree and we vote on it, just get it at town hall and, over the weekend or whatever, we'll just make sure we all get it signed.
Well,
I think
Saturday,
it needs to be signed before Saturday.
I can go after work today if it's available.
I am at town hall, so I can print it here and put it on the table. The table is getting overrun with things to sign. And so I will go through those and see which ones have been approved for signatures and which need to sit for a minute.
I'll be happy to run right up, but once I get out of this meeting, I have something I have to deal with. But I mean, I just tell me where I can make a quick stop and sign that, but
I'm at town hall. I can sign. I have a 2:30 MJTC meeting today. So, but I will be here till at least 2:15. I haven't decided if I'm doing the meeting here or at home.
That'd be great if you guys could do that. Veronica, if you could, print it out, sign it. And Joe, if you can get up there, and Chaz, you can get up there when you can. We definitely appreciate it.
Yep.
And I'll get a signed copy from Kevin as the manager of the.
Okay, I'll be there shortly after 5 o'clock.
And we did already approve the work.
Right. Right. Okay.
Based on Adam's review, and we did get Adam's okay yesterday.
Okay.
So,
Right.
yeah. Once I'm done here, it'll be drive time from my home to town hall. If hopefully you have it ready, I can sign it.
Okay, all right.
Possible?
I need to, I can't print on the printer here from my computers. I have to figure out how to get to a different, but maybe Beth or Jody or Kathy or someone here can print it for me.
If you want, I'll run a copy up to you guys.
John, how about we do this, John? Why don't you print it? I'll stop right at your office, then you can bring it to them.
If you're gonna be able to get to me before Veronica has to leave.
I'm gonna, like I said, when I'm done this meeting, I will drive right to the center of town and I'll sign it in your office, then you can bring it to Veronica and it'll be there.
And then Chaz can get it later today.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
The one thing Adam did say is that it is contingent on our approving the crane work. So tell me about the crane, John.
Well, it's the, a tree, removal crane that's gonna have to come in, and we put it on the chart, so that's probably gonna have to be located somewhere in the parking lot. Their plan is to do it this Saturday morning, and they would be done in 3 to 4 hours. the trees will be gone. They will process all the wood there and get rid of it. So
Madam,
So I
Madam-
guess my question is, did Kevin, he had mentioned getting a detail? And do we need to, I'm just curious, I know we didn't require that, but he
He
had
said he was
mentioned
gonna-
that.
he said he was gonna do it, Veronica. I'm sure he will. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us today, but I know he said he would do that. And I'm not sure timeframes, what timeframe the police need to be able to supply a detail. I guess if that
I
needs some
didn't know
time,
that either.
I don't know myself.
Okay. So
Well,
I guess what I would like them to do is to kind of close the parking lot
Yeah,
during the time that they're there. So whether they put horses or whatever up at the end of the parking lot, so people don't inadvertently drive in there while they're
Right.
working.
yeah. I'll
That's-
I'll ask him to do that. I'm sure he can put stuff up to block it off.
Just from a safety standpoint, I know
Yeah.
there are kids in the neighborhood that ride their bikes in that parking lot and things like that.
Okay.
So, and I might, on the red bar, I could put up town parking lot, on the website, just an announcement, town parking lot closed behind town hall. Do you have a
Saturday, I would guesstimate, just say 7 a.m. to
Saturday.
12 noon, Saturday morning.
I'll
Maybe
make it,
12, maybe 1 o'clock. I'm not sure. Kevin said they'd be done in 4 hours, but exactly when they start.
I'm gonna say closed all day, beginning at 7 a.m. until
All right.
completion
And then
of
they're
work.
gone. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. From 7 a.m. until completion. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. All right. So,
Okay.
I think we're good then, John.
get a
So
plan, yeah.
Joe, you
How
will
much-
sign at John's. John
Okay.
will bring me the print copy.
Yeah.
I will sign here and Chaz will come when he can this evening.
We'll leave it
So
on the table outside your office.
And
Selectman's
then,
office.
John, you'll pick it up tomorrow
I'll grab it tomorrow. Yeah.
and just let me know when you have it. I'll make a copy of it.
Once I got it signed, sealed, I'll send it out to everybody, a copy.
You'll
All right.
send a copy to us. Okay, if you just send it to selectmen@townsendma.gov,
Okay,
that should be sufficient.
okay,
All right, I'll be there as soon as the meeting's over.
okay, all right.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, folks. Thank
Thank
you.
very
Yaz,
much.
Joe, Veronica, thanks a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we had a Guardian IT report on here, is that correct?
Yes.
Would you like to say something?
Well, I
You're
just,
the reporter on that since you're holding.
yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I had gone and asked for the active users list and to see what was on there. I received a list from Guardian and I'm going through and taking out the entries that don't need it. There's some active accounts that are on there that can be taken off that we shouldn't be paying licenses for, that I'm going to work through. And then in lieu of our conversation in our executive session, there is some more work that I need to do, but once I have that, then I'll request to put it back on the communication portion of an agenda.
All right, thank you. Joe, anything else on that?
No? All good?
Okay. For Conservation Commission, moving on to the next, that was added. I received a request this morning from one of the Conservation Commissioners, Jen Eaton, for approval to attend the 101 session of fundamentals for Conservation Commissioners. These are Conservation Commissioners through MACC can receive a certificate. It's called Fundamentals of Conservation Commissions, and the town has historically paid for people to attend that. The courses were, back in my day, $50 a piece. might be 60, and it requires the approval of the Conservation Commission. Since the Conservation Commission is not currently meeting and has not been meeting currently, she sent me an email requesting approval for the town to pay for that. It's usually paid out of the Conservation Commission budget.
Are we able to do that?
That's
Well, no,
very-
working on conservation, so we something.
We're the appointing authority. So I said I would run it by you guys at today's meeting. This just came in this morning, and I'm really quickly looking at what's in the conservation budget. In the budget, and I think this usually, you know how at town meeting, we move 20K in. So it usually comes out of that, but I think at this point, we have line items of dues and professional services in conservation. Conservation professional services has $500 and dues and memberships has $82 in it. So
Right,
that's
so-
the budgeted line items.
So we're able to do this, is what I'm asking. We're able to approve out of their budget?
I will ask, I could ask town council that.
Well, I mean, this is my opinion. By the letter we had and we discussed last night, it says until there is staff in conservation office, no one will be performing any conservation work. So that kind of puts us squarely in the middle to take action. And for me, I think we approve it and get it done. Conservation don't like it, they ought to do their job.
I guess-
And that particular letter is not the opinion according to the email that we received to all the board members.
Yeah.
If this is going to help us with the to get some conservation work done, then I would say that I'll move that we allow Jen Eaton to go to this conference pending the decision of the town council.
Second,
All right, it is a course, it's the initial course, it's Fundamentals 101, the initial course in the series that you take. So, so pending town council approval. All right. Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Kell, yes.
And I do have to go.
Okay,
I trust that you guys will make decisions that you need to.
and we will do that. Our next one is about procurement, and I have one other financial thing here. And the other is just on union contracts, what Joe had
Okay.
brought up in the beginning. So Chaz,
right.
thank you very much.
All right.
We have no meeting on Friday. The noon meeting will be hopefully the opening of bids for shared streets and spaces. We shall see. I'll let you know.
Okay.
And our next working meeting will be on Monday, the 14th.
Okay.
The regular meeting on the 15th, and I will get those posted tomorrow. Thank you, Chaz.
Thank you.
All right,
All right, so Joe, the next thing we have is procurement, shared streets and spaces. The posting for the shared streets and spaces bids, all bids were to have been in by the end of the day tomorrow. And we have in the posting, the RFB or whatever, IRB, I don't know if I'm saying that right. It said that the opening of bids would take place at noon on Friday at Town Hall. Jim Kreidler was our chief procurement officer, and I have asked Kate to write up a letter for him to come in as he will be completing things as needed for wrap up. And
Mhm.
so I have requested her to do that. If I have a vote of the board to go forward with that, I will talk to her to see if we can get that to happen.
I make a motion that you talk with town council to send out a letter to Mr. Kreidler for him to be available for the procurement openings on Friday as part of our agreement.
Second, Veronica Kell, second. All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Veronica Kell, yes. Thank you very much. I will get on that. All right. I have one other thing that came into me from our treasurer, Jared, and I see he's on this call. So he had sent to me the long-term debt schedule, which I will forward out to you. He said, I wanted to update you with some upcoming payments due from the town for FY22. So the long-term FY22 long-term debt schedule, I will send that out to you. Our next one was our Middlesex County Retirement Assessment is due 07/01/2021 for $934,704 if paid in full. Jared recommends that we continue to pay this way because it includes a $16,610 reduction. The other option would be to pay it in halves, and then you don't get the benefit of that. So he was, I guess, looking for guidance on that. Jared, I see you're muted. If you want to jump in and say anything, feel free. The next one is pretty much notification. I have also attached the school assessments, which are paid quarterly. The first payment due for Neshoba Valley Technical School District is on 7/01/2021 for $244,610.75. The first payment due for NMRSD is on August 1st, 2021 for $3,325,329.75.
Yes,
And that was just to let us know that those assessments are coming up. So I appreciate that. We, the board, appreciate it, Jared. Thank you. I see
Thank you.
that you don't have a microphone. The other is, he states that the tax lien auction that happened last week, he would get us the figures on that as soon as he has them.
Awesome.
So,
Good job.
that's just an announcement. Thank you, Jared. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So that's all I have under financials, the procurement piece. The other was union contracts, Joe. So could you?
So I think the union rep of the fire department just sent all of us a message. I guess I can just read it in. It says, hello, just checking in as the fire union was in middle of contract negotiations with Mr. Kreidler, Chief Boynton, and Fire Department Liaison Selectman Shank. With Mr. Kreidler and the town mutually parting ways, where does that leave negotiations? We are approaching a 1 year out of contract as our current one ended 6/30/2020. We had done a lot of work to reach a new agreement. Will we be waiting for an interim TA for a permanent one to be selected? Please let us know how you would like to proceed. Thank you for your time in this matter. Marty Scott, President, Local 4926, Career Firefighters of Townsend.
Okay, so Joe, what I think we should do then is we last night in executive session, we moved the ratification, so to speak, of the tentative agreement with the AFSCME union to the 15th meeting. Would you be agreeable to adding an executive session to our meeting for IAFF as well? So I'll put 2 executive sessions on. One to IAFF and one to, for AFSMI, because we have that one anyway.
And then we'll just reach out to them and tell them that they're on and the right proper people will come.
Let me get back to you on that. I need to check in with council on exactly how to handle this.
That's fine. I'm good. All good.
Okay.
That's all I
All
have.
right. So that, Joe, I want to go back to Conscom, that piece. I would like to send a letter from the board to the Conservation Commission Chair. I will, we had discussed this last night that we would put it on letterhead. So I will get that out to you and Chaz. I think I can't remember if we did a formal vote. I would have to look at the tape to be certain. But so could I have a motion to send a letter to our Conservation Commission Chairman?
Absolutely. I make a motion that you send out a letter to the Conservation Commission Chair, Karen Hill, in regards to our conversations we had.
Second, all those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. And these are our conversations in open session yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
So I will be sending that just to the chair.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I don't think I have, I think that's it. Are there any liaison appointments? Any liaison discussions? I don't have anything on that.
I think we talked about that last night, and you were going to reach out for the money to board up the 182 Warren Road. You're going to send it off to Andrea Wood.
Andrea Wood, right?
So we have the financing for that, and I do believe the maintenance person is not in today, so I haven't reached out to him as far as the locks yet, or have figure out something to do with the safe.
Okay, all right. So I'll take care of that. I'm trying to think if I have anything else under liaisons.
No,
I am the liaison to conservation.
Yeah.
So,
you
all
handle.
right. Yeah. As far as communications, there was a MSA, MIAA Code of Conduct seminar that had been held. That was for Board of Selectmen and department heads and board chairs. So I guess that was just a communication.
Yeah, I see that.
So we'll leave that at that. Our next meeting will be on June 14th at noon.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
can
Is
I
this
co-
Andrea? Andrea, I'm
Yes.
sorry, you don't always light up when you talk. And I don't have your name all the time. You're a blank square and this voice comes out of the blue.
That's sort of me all over.
So-
I may have led Joe awry. You're not guaranteed the money from the reserve fund. We have to vote to release it to you. It's not a done deal until we have a meeting and it's voted.
Yes,
Okay?
we had to send the form, I do believe, correct, Andrea?
Yeah,
That's, yes. I'm sorry if I said that wrong.
that's all right. I just didn't want, it's such a confusing time. I just didn't want another added confusion to be in there.
Thank you, Andrea. Neither do we. So perfect. All right. Thanks for pointing that out. All right. I think we can have a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn the meeting?
Veronica Kell second. The meeting, all those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Veronica Kell, yes. The meeting will be adjourned at 1:15 p.m.
Thank you. See you
Thank you
later.
very much, everybody.
I'm gonna go sign that and I'll be good. All right.
Okay.